Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Perils in Paradise card review, another Paladin review. We know the remainder of the Paladin cards, and we got a lot of spells. We have a spell heavy release here, and some more pirates, some more funnel pirates that I just love. Anyways, if you want to win these cards or any of the other cards from this expansion, we're giving away 2 regular pre-orders, 1 mega bundle out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. And starting off, well, we got a really big spell here, and I guess we got a new 10 mana spell for your tendrils if you want to do that. It is this Sea Shanty. It is a 10 mana spell that summons 3 5/5 pirates. That's not great. It's a 10 mana 15/15. Is that not good? Well, of course, it's not really 10 like all good 10 mana spells. This will cost 1 less for each spell you've cast on characters this game. So like a mass AoE effect won't count. It's got to be a spell that targets something, whether it's yourself, the enemy, a minion. It's got to target some type of character. But if you've done that 10 times, this will be 0, a 0 mana 15/15. Doesn't that sound a heck of a lot better? We don't have Librams, right now in standard, but we will be seeing more cheap spells as we go along. We already have that weapon that like adds some stuff to your hand, and Mage can use this as well. And we know Mage love casting spells. They can add this to their pool. They put this in no minion Mage, right? Although you have to run the Tourist, which is a minion. That might be a bit complicated. But overall, I do think it's like okay, right? Like as long as you're playing a spell heavy deck, which you might want to do, this is basically an auto include. Like why would I not want just 0 mana stats? The pirates themselves don't really do anything. They're just 5/5s, but it absolutely could be a meta player as long as there is that buff heavy, spell heavy deck. If you're playing Libram Paladin Wild, you're definitely playing this card because why not? I will give it a 3 out of 5 in standard and wild. I think it's got a bit of a shot, and anything that could cost 0 usually finds a way one way or another, right? It just almost always happens. And hey, we got a spell that really helps with that. We have the Divine Brew, a 1 mana holy spell, which is one of the drinks, so you can repeat this one 3 times. You can use this total of give a character Divine Shield. That can be your face. It's a character, not just a minion. If it already had one, give it +1 attack this turn. So you can't permanently buff your hero with attack. That would have been kind of cool, but also probably pretty game breaking. And you have 3 left. So you, for 3 mana, you could give a minion Divine Shield and then like +2 attack. Not amazing, but it's the flexibility of it, right? Being able to throw that in wherever you want to get a nice like value trade or just an attack buff here or there. And again, discounting a spell like that 10 mana one. 1 drink can get that down to 7, and that piles up pretty darn quick. Very flexible card, pretty good in those tokeny style, like fighting for board decks can be good in a divine, like a hand buff deck. Giving a big hand buff minion Divine Shield can be very powerful. I'll give this a 3 as well. I see it, seeing possible play in a lot of style of decks. Maybe even those Reno-ish control-y decks can use it too. For those reasons, like it's just a flexible little card, and I can't write it off completely. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. In wild, I don't think so. Again, I think it's probably a bit slower there. In the Holy Wrath decks, they really want to draw just the 1 holy spell in Holy Wrath, and there's not much else going on right now. There have been hand buffs, there's been even paladins, but overall, it's probably a 2 out of 5 in wild. It's definitely a decent little card overall, and I love that they have like their own unique artworks for each one. Next, we have a new epic here, the 3 mana 3/3 Service Ace. After this minion gains attack, so if it's gotten a, one of those drinks at +1 attack, it'll do its thing. Reduce the cost of the highest cost card in your hand by 1, which could also be that 10 mana spell. Double dipping, one might say. I guess. I don't know. Is that really that big a deal? I don't know. I'm an old man. One might say on that effect. So is this good? It's mana cheat if you keep buffing this up, and you'll get more and more mana cheat. It kind of reminds me of that Zrami card. I can't remember. It was like a pre-spell, which was way better in that you just had to cast a spell and then it would just discount a random card in your hand by 1. It was pretty disgusting and did infinite mana cheat things. I don't think this will do it as much, but we already looked at that legendary, right? That turns into a location that could give us +3 attack and, you know, again, discount a card. As a standalone card, it doesn't do much. You really have to buff this up for it to do something, and it's just kind of a weird one. I imagine at some point some deck will utilize this in some toxic way that I will complain about on Twitter because of mana cheat, because mana cheat bad, not good. But overall, I just don't really see it. It's just, I don't know, tap buffing is just not as easy as, like, you know, just playing cards and getting that mass cheat. Like, what do you want to do with that mana cheat? It's all really got to come together, and I just don't quite see it with any current strategy. But again, something that can mass mana cheat, I will never give lower than like a 3. I'll still say somewhere it pops up is some playable card in some gross thing. And yeah, we'll have to see. In Wild, I'll give it a 2 because I don't think you care. I think you care even less about the mana cheat on this thing, but who knows? This is just a really out there card that could just do some ridiculous stuff. And again, in Mage, I don't know how you're giving this attack. I don't see that really happening at all. So I doubt Mage really uses this thing at all, as well as the prior card, the Divine Brew. Overall, pretty much all the Paladin cards have felt pretty useless in Mage, but hey, you never know. We'll see how that plays out. We also have a new aura for Paladin and I guess Mage of Life-Saving Aura, 1 mana holy spell that at the end of your turn, you get a 1-cost sunscreen that gives +1/+2. This lasts 3 turns, so you'll get 3 of those sunscreens, which are not a holy spell, just a pure buff, and you can throw it onto whatever minion. It's not bad. It's a decent stat buff. You get 3 of them, nice and flexible, so you can save them for your service ace and get some more mana cheat on that. But I just feel like it's a nice bit of stats to throw on, and you can help discount your 10 mana pirate spell. And if you're playing Mage, this could be a nice cheap holy spell for your Sith and throw onto some minions there. Like, Mage just isn't that minion centric, even with like the tourist card it's getting, right? Like, you could get some 2-drops and stuff, but overall, I don't know. I think this could see play in Paladin. Like, it's the cheapest aura I think they've had. I think they've had a couple 2-mana ones. Get a 1-mana one that gives you just a bunch of stats. It's pretty nice. It's nice and a little cheap card. And I guess if you really want to, you can buff it, right? You got the upgradable card to buff your auras, which has seen like no play, but you could do that as well. So I'll give this a 3. I think it's got some potential. It's got a chance. And then, again, probably not a Mage. And in Wild, I'll give it a 2, even though you could play an Odd Paladin and wouldn't be that bad there, but Odd Paladin hasn't been playable in quite some time. So there you go. That is all the Paladin cards. That's all the cards for today. And tomorrow, we'll see what broken Rogue cards Rogue gets. How many cards will it draw? How much mana will it cheat? We'll find out tomorrow. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.